Now Probert got the right hand free. He's loose with the right hand, and he starts to retaliate, and down goes Nyland, and the two of them are hammering each other.
Knights of Columbus, that hurt.
It's old-time hockey, the way you're supposed to play. You throw a little lumber if a guy gets in your way. You play like Gordie Howe or Eddie fucking Shore. We can't all be Gretzky's, the News or Bobby Orr's. Hey.
The enforcer of all hockey podcasts. It's the Biscuit. It's the Biscuit.
Damn it! Sex goal regulation signs are what?
The enforcer of all hockey podcasts.
God help the fucking day if fighting's ever banned. As our country will stop working on some Batman's fucking cans.
Hi, everybody. It's the Biscuit Podcast.
Hey, you wanna go? Yeah, okay. Good luck, man. Good luck to you too, buddy.
What's up, you dick lickers? It's me, William, and the Biscuit. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving, happy Boxing Day, and all that good shit. I know we're coming a little late, but you guys know, as Thanksgivings go, we were supposed to record in Kentucky where we were visiting my brother. But, some verbal arguments, people leaving early. Big Ran and my older brother got in a fight, so half of Thanksgiving got canceled, but it's all good. Everybody loves each other. I was happy to see everybody, and I wanted to thank my older brother for having us down. And what's family without a few beers and a couple fist fights, and we move on. It's all good. Big Ran is sick. My whole family was sick. That's why I'm recording on Tuesday instead of Sunday, because there's been babies puking, humans puking. My ass has been spilling water for like 3 days. That's what happens when you go to Kentucky. The air down there will try to turn your body into a piece of trash. That's just how it goes. So I haven't done one by myself in a while. I know you guys don't like them when I do them by myself, but I don't like you. So like my sack, it's going to be good. We're all going to have a good goddamn time. But, they always say if you're not in by Thanksgiving break, you're out. And I think at the past 6 years, it's either been 12 or 13 teams out of the 16, have been in it at this time. So we're going to get into those teams, and I'll give you my picks for the quarter of the way through. And just got a few news things before we get into that. And then hopefully Big Rain will be back this weekend to apologize. The most hate mail I've ever received from last episode. I think it was 46. I don't remember the name of the episode. I think it was Acid Trips, maybe. Big Dicks and Acid Trips. But Big Ran mistakenly read some things about the Philly-Hershey outdoor game that upset a lot of people. And I think they turned off the episode immediately when he said it, because later on he does correct himself. Then for all you fucking Canadian fucks that said I said Rick Tocchet wrong, I said his fucking name right. Come at me, bro. Send me the audio. I said his fucking name right. I'll say it right again. Tocchet, Recky. I know my shit, boys. Get off my dick. And if I said his name wrong, I did. Whatever. I'm not fucking sorry. And I love you Canadians. You know that. I wanted to ask you guys up there. So there's a thing now going on in the States called net neutrality, where they're voting on it here on December 14th, the FCC, to see if we're going to pay for services such as Twitter, or if you're using more bandwidth, you'll pay more for the internet and shit. I tweeted out the other day, I'll shut this whole fucking operation down. I am not paying for fucking Twitter to listen to you guys bitch about outdoor fucking hockey game venues. The show will go on, and what facet and how often, I don't know. I'm a little worried about it. I love doing the show, but I'm not going to be pushed around by these fucking head cheeses. So, but maybe a good way to stick it to the man, like Patrick Kane would to a lady after date raping him, is to keep the show going on, and we'll see what happens. Almost for sure it'll pass, because that's what happens. But it's fucked up and I hate it. But I wanted to know if you guys had it, because I hear a lot of people saying that the rest of the world has the internet set up this way, but I just don't believe it. I don't want to believe it. While we're on Canada, my buddy, I don't know how to fucking properly address him, because I can't say his name because he works for the government, but he runs Fourth Line Voice, but then their name is called Southpaw. And then I've slipped and said his name a couple times, but not his last name. So I don't know if I can call him that, or Southpaw, or Fourth Line Voice. And then Fourth Line Voice is way too long. But he sent me a picture of a $50 coin going around up there in Canada. I don't know if it's out yet or not. But it's the shape of the Stanley Cup. And it's cool as fuck. So if any rich Canadian listeners feel like sending me one of those, do it. I'll take it. I'm not going to spend it. What the fuck? It's worth like 3 pennies down here. I just think it's fucking cool looking. I don't know what the run is on them or, anything else about it except for it looks like the Stanley Cup and it's cool as fuck and it's worth 50 Canadian dollars, a.k.a. 3 pennies. Well, fuck, dude, I am just killing it with the notes because I'm right on Fourth Line Voice. I wanted to congratulate Steve McIntyre for winning the first annual Minor League Mayhem tournament, edging out Trevor Gillies. God damn, I learned a lot of fighters through this. Bossy was one of my favorites going into it. Loved McIntyre. Loved Gillies, and I'm not sure what all this nonsense is about him not being able to keep a job and he should be banished and fucking locked in a pen and, fed fucking rotten crow. But dude does a good job of what he does. He can fight. He can stir some shit up. And he's remained in professional hockey for a long time. So, he recently got suspended for hitting a dude when he was down on the ice, some young 24-year-old, and I learned that you're not allowed to fight if you're under 24. There was a whole big shit stir. You guys can go back on Twitter. I'm not going back into it here now, but it was a whole big deal about him. And one of the things I was reading a lot about was, he just did it out of nowhere. There was no cause for it. I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain that none of you were on the ice and heard what that dude was saying. It seems like the dude was chirping. I mean, even when they pulled Gillies off of him, he was still running off at the mouth. So to say that it was unprovoked is nonsense. And to just watch the 30-second GIF and say it from there, I watched it, probably 30 times. And, that's the thing. If there's someone out there to get in between them, and then you have enforcing going on, but they don't allow that. So then you get kids getting their ass whooped because they're running their mouth, and there's no one to protect that kid from Gillies, and Gillies isn't going to listen to that shit. He's been in the league for how long? He's played in the NHL. He's down in the AHL now. He'll just whoop your ass. And then these kids have no consequences because they've been down in the Big Ten fucking cock-slapping kids or, playing in major juniors where they're gods, that they've never had any repercussions for anything that they've ever said. So then when they come up into a step away from the NHL, you're going to have to answer for some shit. And, whether or not you think Trevor took it to that line or went past it, that's up to your taste. No, I don't always like to see somebody punched when they're down, but I also understand that I don't want this kind of thing taken out of hockey. I do want there to be fights, and I do want people to have to answer for their actions. And I think that's somebody on this fucking team should have stopped Trevor instead of the Stripes having to do it. That's what I would like to see. Is maybe some teammates sticking up for some people. Because you got guys like Tarasenko the other night, having to do dirty work because there's nobody to step in there. And he handled himself quite well and then ended up getting himself the Gordie Howe hat trick, which, everybody loves one of those. But, if he hits him the wrong way and breaks his hand because he's not used to fighting there, there is a way to punch somebody in the face. that's a whole different thing, and you're talking about a whole different ballgame there. I would love to see Thorburn or someone else on that St. Louis team come in, and so your star player doesn't have to do that. But then again, I also dug him doing it. So it's a hard. What I'm saying here is, you can't be a pussy sometimes. You can be, but then just stick to it. But there's going to be violence, and sometimes it's going to be taken too far. And that's just, you deal with it then. Like Gudas trying to cut off homeboy's head there in Winnipeg. There's no place for that. That's a suspension. That's what he get, 10 games. I'm cool with that. But like Wachowski coming back on the ice, that 10 games automatically to me seems crazy on that one. And then Landeskog, a couple of nights ago, cross-checking Matthew Tkachuk, gets 4 games. And I would have maybe kicked him out of the game. I don't know his past, history with the shit, but nothing that crazy. I mean, cross-checked him 2 or 3 times in the shoulders. He gets 4 fucking games. It's not like he was fucking, stick raping him on the ice. It wasn't that bad. And I know Peros wants to stay on the line of, getting rid of non-hockey shit. And maybe it was away from the play and there wasn't much going on back there. But, Tkachuk's been known to use his mouth a little bit. And maybe Landeskog was giving him a couple, hey, shut the fuck ups. I don't think that's worth 4 games. I really don't. I don't think it was worth 1. So I don't know. Maybe I'm the asshole, I guess. But I wasn't a fan of it. And I don't know if I touched on this last episode or not. But I had an issue with Brandon Schaub on The Fighter and the Kid talking shit about people that use Skype to do a podcast. Listen there, homeboy. Not everybody is living in fucking LA talking to Joe Rogan's, rejects that he didn't want on his show. So calm the fuck down and realize that it can be done and it can be done well. I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that Big Rand and I do our show using Skype. And I think it would be better live, but there's no reason that we can't pull it off with Skype. And all the interviews I've done have been with Skype, and they've been awesome. And I will put up my interview with Scott Parker to anything you've done. It's, I guess what I'm saying is suck my pipe, bud. Guys, I saw a bunch of good mustaches in November, so my hat's off to you. I think, first off, if you didn't see Jody Shelley's, you have to go look it up right now. It's a masterpiece. Jody's already a real good-looking man, especially for having 500 stitches in his face, playing, countless years in the NHL. Top 10, I'm fairly certain in penalty minute or fighting majors all time. But his mustache is something of legend. And, only seconded by Savard, who ended up doing something for charity where if he got I think it was $2,500 or $5,000, he would shave his beard. And man, his mustache came out fucking glorious. So my hat's off to those boys. If you guys had a mustache or anything, you still got it. I know December isn't quite here. Send them to me so I can Bieska approve them. Because it's for a good cause. It's for men's health. And, we're men here and we like health. As I guzzle down a fucking beer to my fucking gut. I'll tell you what. I didn't have many beers over Thanksgiving, but when you're down in Kentucky, it's bourbon country, so I had some Elmer T. Lee, and that shit'll make you go into puberty again. Holy fuck, it was good. And then a little bit of vodka, too. A little vodka and club soda, like a fucking goddamn gentleman. That's what I was drinking. We're not sponsored by any of those companies, so blah, 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 blah. Ooh, did you guys hear? The NHL released their hot runnings for the Calder Cup Rookie of the Year right now. No. Go listen to some other fucking podcast if you want to hear that bullshit. I'll read you the Calder Cup winner at the end of the year, but half of the fucking kids on the list will take the guaranteed all-star slump. They'll find out that there's fucking 40 more games left, and it almost happens every year that they just start diving hard. I mean, 2 or 3 of them will make it through it, but the 5 or 6 that they're naming now, it's just not going to happen for you, buds. Sorry, and I'm not going to fucking waste my time reading the names. If they're good enough, they'll be there at the end of the year for me to fucking read them to you. Duchesne finally scored for Ottawa. What a dumb trade. What a fucking dumb player. Fuck him. He's a fuckboy of the week, dude. He pissed me off with all his fucking prima donna bullshit. And I hope Ottawa doesn't make the fucking playoffs just because he's a fuck. Got a couple fights I want to mention before we get into the biggity breakdown of the divisions. I know we have some former players and from all leagues and all walks of life that listen to the show. So a question for you guys is, if you've seen Bieska, Superman, twice this year and 2 knockouts, are you thinking as a fighter like, oh, I can't wait to play the Ducks so I can fight him and kind of wait for him to pull that? Or is it like, oh shit, I hope he doesn't hit me? Because what I'm thinking is, I can't wait to play the Ducks so I can fucking knock him out. Enough's enough, fucking making people look foolish, and I love it. It's crazy that it's worked, and it's worked twice now. So good for you if you can do it. But I don't see it working forever. Because there's ways to counter a Superman punch, and there's ways to fucking get a hit on him before he can do that bullshit. Or maybe the what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Not mystical. Fucking cock. Like Bigfoot. Kind of like Bigfoot or like a fairy where you wouldn't see it very often. Either way, 2 Superman punches into each other, double knockout. The rare, different word for rare. Let's see here. I got a book here. QRSTUVWX. Your mom's pussy. Rare. Rape? Patrick Kane. No. Did I forget how to spell rare? Here we go. Nope. None of these work. Unobtainable. Sparse. Scanty. No. Motherfuck. The seldom seen, I guess we'll go with. The seldom seen Superman, double Superman fucking knockout. My fight of the week, though, is Mcdermit beating the dog piss out of Lambias. Now that isn't a name I can say. Sorry. And I know homeboy, I think it was, what's his dick for the hockey writers? Is it Ken Campbell? That stupid fuck wrote something about how this guy shouldn't be in the league, blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, dude. You shouldn't. People have to stop reading his shit. He has not written anything worthwhile ever. Forever fuck him. He and Matt Duchene are this week's fuck boys. I have been having double fuck boys a bunch this year because people keep fucking pissing me off. So congratulations, Ken Campbell. And he's had it before for his shit about Georgie Peros. This guy's a fucking moron. Hey, make sure you go on Twitter and say, hey, the Biscuit wanted me to tell you you're a fucking moron. Thanks, guys. But Mcdermit just fucking slapped his ass. Like 5, 6, 7, 8 punches to the ice, done. I love fucking Curtis McDermott. Listen to the conversation I had with Stephen Bentley before the season about the Kings. We were both foaming at the mouth about this guy. I'm very excited to see he's doing well and doing his part on a team that's doing skidding now, but I mean better than I thought they would be. So best wishes to him and, not the Kings, but to him for sure. And I know I had mentioned I was thankful for my family and everything, and I also want to say that I'm thankful for you guys for listening to the show and all the comments I get every week and the interactions I've had with everybody online. The show has brought a lot of joy to my life, and I love doing it for you guys, and I love meeting and talking to you guys. So thanks to you. This will be the last time I thank you. I'm not thanking you next year. You're not my wife. I don't have to fucking, be nice to you guys. Suck a dick. So let's do it. We'll start with the Metro. We'll start with the East. We'll go to the West. And I don't know if I wrote down my teams that I had picked and then got rid of them because they were fucking so bad. Whatever I was doing, I got some shit written down here that I picked. And then I ended up switching them, if you guys remember, there at the end. I had that special episode. So my shit's all fucked up. You can't believe anything I say. Is this the one I fixed? Nope, that sure isn't. That one's gone. I don't remember. I'll listen back. I'm not doing it right now. But in the Metro, we got the surprising New Jersey Devils. And on my first draft, I had them picked to make the playoffs, and then Big Ran talked me out of it. And that's why you never listen to Big Ran. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But they're leading the Metro right now, 32 points, 14-6-4. Just one game ahead of Columbus in second. And then New Jersey, the Islanders, who I had picked to finish dead last in the Metro. I might have even had them dead last in the East, surprising the shit out of me with 30 points, 14-7-2. And what's going to happen with Tavares is if this team is one of those teams that actually gets bounced out of this mix. And then you have Washington with 29 and Pittsburgh with 29. Matt Murray going down last night, getting hurt in the game at Philly. What's new there, though? That guy's always fucking hurt. He's only ever played like 12 games, and yeah, they were all in the playoffs, but, he's not going to be able to come in and save them during the playoffs if they can't fucking make it. So now they have two fucking dickwads playing goalie that, I don't know, it's on Yari's shoulders now. So Pittsburgh could be looking at some troubles. I don't know how long he's out. I think it just said lower body injury as of tonight. So we'll see what happens with him. That's interesting. And I had Pittsburgh winning the Metro, and maybe that was a little, foolish of me. But I really thought Sydney was going to turn it on this year and fucking, just remind everybody who he is. But now, Matt Murray's hurt. Scott Wilson got traded. I'm hearing Ian Cole's going to be traded. You could potentially see Pittsburgh missing the playoffs this year. It wouldn't be that crazy, especially as of right now. Yeah, they're sitting in the second wild card right now, but I don't know. Maybe it's going to be one of them teams that push out. New York Rangers have 28 points. I don't think they're good. I don't even think they're 28 points good. Carolina, which, god damn it, guys. I had them being better. Columbus is playing them right now. So hopefully they lose tonight. And then Philly, dead last. I had Philly low, and then you listen to Big Rand, and he fucked my picks all up. I got a plan for next year's picks. I know I said that last year, but I got a real foolproof plan where I'm going to nail all 16 teams next year. I guarantee it. In the Atlantic, got to be the favorites to come out of the East right now, the Tampa Bay Lightning, 16-5-2, 34 points. Second in all the hockey as points-wise. Toronto, 31, even losing Matthews for a few games. And I haven't watched a bunch of Leafs games. I'll have to ask Farmer Rob what he thinks of them so far and get a better idea of how that team is. But I'm pretty sure I had them winning the Atlantic, so they're right where I thought, I guess, they would be. Detroit, 25th. So, good for them. Boston close up there with 24. Montreal, the slipping Montreal with 23. Glad I had them switched out. A lot of people had them win in the Atlantic, and they got rid of too much and didn't bring in enough. I know they beat Columbus last night, and you'd think they fucking won the Stanley Cup, but goddamn, I just don't. I don't like that team. I don't like this group of Canadiens. The Ottawa Senators, 22nd. 22 points, 8-6. Florida knew they were dog shit, and then Buffalo is a pile of garbage, and all I keep hearing is, Jack Eichel's God. This Nylander kid coming up is going to be awesome, and then Casey can't do a pull-up that's going to change this whole team next year. So we'll see, but they're fucking done. They're toast. So right now, if the playoffs started today, and this is the leaderboards as of 8:30 on November 28th, you have New Jersey, Columbus, Islanders, Tampa Bay, Maple Leafs, Detroit, Washington, Pittsburgh. I don't think the Islanders hold on. I think the Islanders get dropped out. I think Washington moves up into that spot in the third spot. And I think you see Boston taking that second wild card. So you would have New Jersey, Columbus, Washington, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Detroit, Boston. What do you say? Just one? I think Detroit could go either way, but I think Detroit's playing well, and I think they'll continue to play well. Jimmy Howard's been good in net. Mantha's a fucking monster. Nobody's catching Tampa Bay. I don't think the Maple Leafs falter from there. So, that third and wild card spot is the trick, and the Metro's so close there, though. With 30, 29, 29, and 28, there's only a point that separates 4 teams there. So it's hard to call, but I don't think New York, the Islanders, hold on to it. I think they falter out of it. Unless Tavares stays, and then it could be the other way around. It's all a guessing game. You know what I mean? Out of the Central, the St. Louis Blues, who always fuck with me constantly. They're 17-6-1, 35 NHL leading 35 points. I've had the opportunity to watch them a few times, and they are good as fuck. Jake Allen's legit. But that means if I think they're good, they're not going to be. But I think they're going to continue out and win the Central. Winnipeg, playing like the talented group of dudes that they have, 33 points. Nashville, 31. Chicago, then Dallas, Minnesota, and then the Avalanche ended up turning into the Avalanche, rounding out the Central, 24 points. The Golden Knights of Las Vegas, are your first place team in the Pacific at the quarter turn of the season with 31 points. Holy fuck. Wow. That blows my asshole wide open. 15-6-1, but I think at one point they were like 9-1. So, that fucking road trip turned out to be exactly what we thought it would be. The LA Kings in second out there, 13-8-3 with 29 points. Calgary with 27, 13-9-1. San Jose, 26, tied with Vancouver with 26. Anaheim with 24. Connor McDavid, the Edmonton Connor McDavids with 20 points. And what a shit show that is. Can anybody explain that to me? Oh, it's not a one-person game? Connor McDavid can't fucking fancy his way into the playoffs? Good fucking Christ, dude. How many fucking of you dick suckers had them winning the cup. Not I, sir. Not I. And Arizona, yeah, I had them in the playoffs. They're fucking won 6 fucking games. That was a, shot in the dark. You win some, you lose some. I fucked up with that one. Whatever. Suck my ass. So you got St. Louis, Winnipeg, Nashville, Vegas, LA, Calgary, Chicago, San Jose. I don't think Vegas can maintain. Okay? So I'm going to drop Vegas out of there. I think Vegas doesn't make it. Man, I feel like Dallas is going to... Dallas has to make it. Does Chicago falter? Does Nashville falter? Does Winnipeg falter? I think Winnipeg is going to drop down. I think you'll see Dallas making it there in the wild card. And I think that the Ducks will be making the other wild card. So 4 out of each division down there. So you'd have 3 teams, that I in it right now that won't be. New York, Winnipeg, and Vegas are my predictions with that. Lock them, bet on them, do whatever you have to. Guys, thanks for listening. I know they're weird when I do it by myself, but I have to do them because I love it. Please rate and review us on iTunes. And by us, I mean me. There's a song a dude used to sing at a restaurant I worked at, and he would sing it, and it went like this. Do everything myself. I never get no help. That's my new song for the show. I do all of it. Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, Buzzsprout.com's #1 hockey podcast. We are on the Instagram. We are on the Twitter for now. As always, this episode is brought to you by Lucid Float Spas in Mount Vernon, Ohio, where you can fucking float and feel better about your shitty existence. Do it now, or forever hold your peace. Freedom, hockey, the biscuit.